Hello everyone, welcome to Travel's News Show. So today we have with us Mr. Kean Bonlim, Area Director India, South Asia, Africa at Singapore Tourism Board. Welcome Kean to Travel's News Show.
Thank you, Sachin. Thank you for having me at your platform today. I'm happy to be here and to look forward to have this conversation with you.
All right, so here we go. So as you know, travel has bounced back strongly and India is definitely leading the show. So if you can share some numbers like Singapore is enjoying right now from Indian travelers post-COVID scenario.
So in 2023, perhaps I'll talk first about the total arrivals. So the tourism sector recovered steadily. Just from January to December, for the full year, we welcomed a total of 13.6 million travelers globally. So this is about 71% of the figures that we recorded in 2019 before the pandemic. So of these 13.6 that I've mentioned, India, we welcome about 1.07 million visitors from India alone. So this puts India as the fifth largest source market for Singapore, behind Indonesia, China, Malaysia, and Australia. And the 1 million visitors from India in 2023 represents about 76% of our 2019 figures. So that's the numbers alone. Of course, for tourism receipts, that's estimated to reach 24 to 26 billion, which is also a strong recovery, which is about 88% to 94% of what we achieved in 2019. And for that, specifically for India, we noticed that the average length of stay increased by about 10%. So we're looking at maybe about 5 to 6 days in 2019 to 6 to 7 days in 2023. And we think this could be attributed to our refreshed set of destinations, attractions, and events post-COVID. So all in all, reflecting Singapore's appeal and our effective strategies to cater to Indian travelers' preferences, encouraging longer visits by them.
Great, good to hear that and congratulations on this speedy
Thank
recovery
you.
to Singapore. All right, so coming on to sustainability. So destinations are more concerned about sustainability for sure post-COVID, and Singapore has been on the forefront of sustainability. So would you like to share a few of such practices which are still in place with respect to tourism industry there?
Okay. First of all, in terms of how we position Singapore, how we think about Singapore as a destination, we always call it Singapore as a city in nature. And with that, we have actively pursued sustainability initiatives to address environmental challenges, promote green practices, to create a more sustainable and resilient country. So to tourism, the spotlight on tourism, as STB itself has developed a destination sustainability strategy for the tourism sector, which is in line with the a broader Singapore Green Plan 2030. So this puts a focus on environmental sustainability and sustainable management. So at STB, we recognize that to successfully implement and impactfully deliver on sustainability outcomes, we have to work with the entire industry. And in this regard, we've partnered local industry associations to create industry-specific roadmaps for clear directions and commitments, including to achieve sustainability certification and tracking of emissions with a view of achieving net zero emissions by 2050. So I'll give you one specific example of that. That would be the MICE Sustainability Roadmap that was launched by the Singapore Association of Convention and Exhibition Organizers, or SASIOs, and STB back in December 2022. So even during the COVID period, this was already in the works, and once launched in December 2022, there was a lot of information that went out, specifically the roadmap that sets out clear targets and strategies to raise sustainability standards across Singapore's MICE industry over the next few years. So I won't get into details of the roadmap because the information is already out there. But what I wanted to highlight specifically here is that the commitment of partners such as SACIOS and also other MICE businesses that's critical in our journey towards sustainable tourism. So their collaboration was instrumental when STB and the Global Sustainable Tourism Council, or the GSTC, we partnered to deliver a set of global sustainability standards for MICE businesses and provide a common understanding of sustainable practices in the MICE industry worldwide. So SACIOS and other organizations were also consulted in this process, and we're happy to share that the GSTC MICE criteria was launched last month. So that's the one specific example in relation to MICE. So on the leisure front or our other tourism stakeholders, we have also saw that they have stepped up in their commitments on Singapore sustainability goals. Again, I won't go into specifics, but just calling out some good names would be Sentosa, Singapore Airlines, and Scoot. The other airline, they have all made commitments relating to sustainability with some concrete practices already happening today. Yeah.
Sure, sure. I think sustainability is somewhere where whole industry has to, work in sync. Then only these goals can be achieved. And I think Singapore is going in the right direction. Congratulations on that too.
Thank you.
So, Kane, another question is like, many destinations have introduced very initiatives post-COVID to lure more tourists to their destinations specific to India, like it can be one of the example can be the visa fees. So what are the key initiatives like Singapore is taking to attract more tourists from India to Singapore?
Okay. In terms of the In terms of the key initiatives that you mentioned, perhaps I give you my answer in two parts. Firstly, the long term and the more immediate term. But against that, perhaps I want to make the statement that I feel the fundamentals that make Singapore appealing as a leisure destination still remain strong today. So, and we are responding to emerging trends such as wellness and sustainability, as I've mentioned earlier. And within Singapore, STB, as well as our tourism stakeholders, we also notice there is continued investment in the creation of new products and experiences. So this leads me to the first part. For the long term, we are pressing ahead with key infrastructure projects. So Mandai Rejuvenation Project is happening. That would see the whole Mandai precinct getting a fuller refresh. So currently you have seen the bird paradise already moved there. So more phase developments will be coming up soon. And there is the longer term Sentosa Brani master plan. So that will change the face of the southern waterfront, where Sentosa is currently a key feature. So the greater area will also undergo some transformation in the longer term, as well as then finally there's the rejuvenation of Orchard Road. So this was previously actually my role before I moved up to India. So we were pushing on various initiatives to rejuvenate Orchard Road, be it in terms of the hardware, which are the physical infrastructure and some of the physical developments, or the software, which we call it software, but actually that means programming, the kind of activities and events that are happening in Orchard Road to make it appealing. So this is more of the longer term strategies in terms of speaking of events, just now I mentioned software. STB always works with industry stakeholders to ensure Singapore has a refreshing and a compelling lineup of leisure offerings, from spec festivals to events, as well as some enhanced pop-ups in our features in our or enhancements in our attractions. Perhaps what you may have seen recently came out in Sentosa. That's this new attraction called Sensoryscape. So this is located in the heart of Sentosa Island, which is I believe currently a very popular destination within Singapore for many Indian travelers who have already been to Singapore. So this takes up to 30,000 square meters. which is approximately 5.5 football fields. It links the Resorts World Sentosa, which is currently the integrated resort with the hotels, Universal Studios in the north, to all the way to the beaches in the south of Sentosa. So this will replace the existing pedestrian thoroughfare, and through this attraction itself, there will be a series of novel, picture-worthy architectural features and elements like mist, fragrant flowers, water features, and plant species with unique scents. So even moving around Sentosa from the integrated resorts to the beaches, previously those were done via um, either it's walking or there are some trams serving these needs. However, now this could also be done through a much more enriched experience by SensoryScape. So this is one very good example of how the destination is enhanced. So that SensoryScape is probably my favorite example now, because it really just launched, and the news is all over right now within Singapore, and also in the B2B travel trade titles. It's been covered quite a lot, given Sentosa itself has also been very active in communicating this across. Then some of the other newer features yet to open, currently still in works, would be undertaken by our Resorts World Sentosa stakeholders over there. So there's a Singapore Oceanarium. These are all 2025, and enhancement in the Universal Studios with Minion Land. So this would also be in 2025. So all in all, I think the key point is that there are many things going on at the Singapore end. And on our end, what we're doing in the market is to be very updated with these, and to make sure that this translates across to the travel trade friends in India, such that all parties are aware and are able to promote and achieve sales to Singapore by highlighting some of the new experiences, specifically, particularly to repeat visitors.
So thank you for these insights. I think these are going to be very useful for the travel trade in India.
Mm-hmm.
So, Keen, is there any specific announcement which is relevant for Indian travelers to Singapore?
I wouldn't call what I think what I can share with you would be our new Made in Singapore campaign. I wouldn't call it an announcement per se, because it has already been out uh globally in September last year. And more recently, we have an in-market launch in India, right there in Mumbai. So in September 2023, we launched the Made in Singapore campaign, which is building upon our established Passion Made Possible brand, which has been around for many years. So the Made in Singapore campaign puts a fresh spin on Passion Made Possible, and it focuses on how Singapore transforms familiar and ordinary moments into extraordinary and memorable experiences for our travelers, to differentiate us from other destinations. So we believe this is particularly important in markets like India, because Singapore has historically been popular and is a familiar destination amongst Indian travelers. So there is a need to refresh perceptions of our destination attractiveness, and Made in Singapore campaign seeks to do just that. So specifically, what the campaign does is to spotlight quintessentially Singapore experiences, from iconic attractions to hidden gems, showcasing the country's distinctive spirit of putting imagination into action in a playful and whimsical way. So this is to inspire travel to Singapore, and we look at travelers' seemingly ordinary moments. So like your stargazing, ride sharing, workouts, and we see how these can become magical and unexpected experiences in Singapore. And besides that, most of our content, or the social media assets, we feature local personalities to bring to life their stories and experiences through short form content to connect with the travelers. So we've Made in Singapore being launched globally last September. The latest initiative under this campaign is a launch of a series of three-dimensional or 3D billboards in many cities globally. So these specific initiative is centering on immersive out-of-home experiences. So again, transforming ordinary moments into extraordinary experiences. And the objective is to create high-impact moments in our key markets. So in India itself, we brought a slice of Singapore to life at the Phoenix Palladium Courtyard, that at the Lower Parel location in Mumbai. Actually, okay, so it just ended yesterday from March 7 to 21st. So this was aimed to create a shareable moment to keep Singapore top of mind and build a deeper connection with key travel segments. So there's a big 3D billboard with content coming out. So and it's very visible to the foot traffic. And but it's not just confined to Mumbai, that's only the physical part. And there was a suite of digital and on-ground activations introduced across India to further engage the audience. So wherever you are, whether you're in Delhi or in Kolkata or somewhere in the south, you will be able to also see these through some of the digital engagements that we've done. So there is an augmented reality or AR filter that can be used on your smartphone. This will extend the 3D billboard to consumers wherever you are. And at the same time, we also did some Singapore-inspired collaborations across the nation with some homegrown Indian brands. And there are some industry partnerships, and we have engaged content created by local artists across India. So the whole goal of this was how to bring a piece of Singapore closer to India through a more imaginative way, and also create an immersive and memorable experience. So whoever the consumers have engaged with this at whichever touch point, whether it's the Mumbai Palladium Mall or digitally through the phone, they will be able to think of Singapore and spur their next holiday in Singapore again, given that the content itself does feature some of the more unique aspects of Singapore that we previously did not do.
Sure, great for this, latest information which steps
Yeah.
in Singapore is taking in India. All right, so just wanted to take your last message for the Indian travel trade, if you have any.
Yeah, our key messages, I mean, all along we have always been reiterating our key messages across the content, the speeches, or the addresses, or whenever we communicate with our partners. Tourism is a key economic pillar for Singapore, and India is an important source market for us. So STB will continue to refresh and enhance our destination attractiveness. We partner our industry stakeholders, and we also invest in future growth to build a dynamic tourism landscape. For India in particular, we will further leverage our understanding of the audiences in India, and we will continue to partner strategic in-market brands and channels to target the right audiences and to promote Singapore as a choice destination. All in all, we will also encourage consumers to stay longer, spend more, and return as part of our quality tourism pursuit.
Sure, thank you, Kean, for your message and
Thank
for your
you.
time today and speaking to us and sharing the key insights about Singapore for our viewers. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you, Sachin.